Yo, what's going on YouTube? So yesterday, Microsoft held an exclusive preview event for Xbox One in London. It was mainly open to kind of a lot of sort of big YouTube names. You have people like sort of KSI, Arekkz, they all rolled in, sort of a few other people as well. But as well as that, you had sort of a fair few people from the industry. So you had people like Dan Greenawalt there to support Forza, Josh Bridge there to support kind of Dead Rising, people like that. So in general, the event was really well laid out. It was quite a small venue. It was quite nice in that respect because it was limited people, and as I said, it was invite only, so you didn't really have to queue that long to get on games. But it was kind of like a mini version of the Xbox One tour that's been going around, so it's a chance to sort of play some games pre-release. So you get to play things like Rise, Killer Instinct, Call of Duty, Dead Rising, Forza, Kinect Sports Rivals, Just Dance was there as well. Yeah, they're the ones off the top of my head. But there was just sort of like a fair few kind of basically launch titles really. Yeah, it was a really nice venue, really nicely laid out. So I want to sort of shout out to Graham Boyd for the invite. Thanks for that. But yeah, basically while we were there were a few sort of, most of the games that were just kind of demo stations, but there was a capture opportunity for Dead Rising 3. So, I put up some videos earlier. For those of you who just wanted to sort of see the raw gameplay and you didn't want me talking over the top, then hop on over to the channel and check them out, because I've got a full playthrough for the, kind of like Chapter 2 section, which has got like a load of combining stuff, also one of the secret bosses, and then just sort of some more general gameplay after that. But while I was playing through, I did actually get the chance to sit down with Josh Bridge, who is the executive producer on Dead Rising 3. So he kind of, talked me through a few things, discussed a few of the kind of like things about the game, just kind of generally walked me through it, because I've never actually played one of the Dead Risings before. This is actually sort of new to me, and it's a really good game. It was kind of under my radar for a while, and then sitting down, really having a chance to play this, it's really, really good. So yeah, I just figured I'd sort of like run through some of this footage and sort of give you a little bit of a breakdown based on some of the stuff that Josh told me. So hopefully you find this helpful, hopefully you find it useful, and if you do, don't forget to hit that like button to show your support. That would really help me out. But yeah, let's jump into it. So yeah, this basically Dead Rising thing picks up from Chapter 2. And what they've done here is they've unlocked all of the blueprints for you. Now I'll cover what blueprints are in depth later on, but basically they allow you to sort of combine things. So they unlocked all of them, so you can basically combine whatever you want in this demo. And yeah, you pick up at Chapter 2, so you start off, you get bitten, and you got to go off and find some, I forgot the name of it, but you basically got to go and find the antidote. So you wander through hordes of zombies, but right from the start, they lay it out in such a way so you've got sort of combination abilities or combination possibilities right from the get-go. So the first thing you do, you spawn in, and in front of you there's a motorbike to the left, there's a steamroller to the right, and instantly you go up to it, you hold down RB. Basically RB is your combo button, and you can use it to sort of like, you can press it and sort of cycle between things, or you can hold it down, brings up your combo wheel, and it sort of shows you what you can combine. So you walk up between the bike and the steamroller, and they both glow in white. You hold down RB, and then immediately you can combine it into this crazy, I don't even know what you want to call it, something like a steam bike roller mayhem machine. But it's basically like you've got the body of the bike, the steamroller does the front wheel, you can drive forward, it's got spikes on it, it's great for sort of wiping out zombies, but also if you press X then you can use your flamethrower, and yeah, it just clears out zombies pretty fast, so that's pretty good. And yeah, as and when you're walking around, anything you pick up, you can pick up items, hold on to some of them, other ones you just need to kind of, carry around with you. Big things like tyres, obviously you can't put in your pocket, but there are other things, and then once you find different items, you can combine them and make some like really, really crazy things. So yeah, and I mean there are two distinct different ways you can combine things. Obviously you've got vehicles, so you can combine two different vehicles or vehicles and items to sort of make some like really, really crazy ones. I mean, like the other one you're probably seeing in front of you right now is I forgot what it's called, but I basically combine like a van or a truck and turn it into this big armoured vehicle. And then if you press X, you fire out like a load of poison, and it just sort of, or acid, and it burns through the zombies. But if you press Y, you jump out and you self-detonate, and you basically turn the car into a massive bomb. So again, you lose your vehicle, but it's a really, really good way to clear zombies. But then on the flip side, you've obviously got weapon combinations. So you can combine loads of crazy things. You can combine like a guitar with like a electric source, and you can turn it into like an electric guitar, or there's like the possibilities are, you can basically say the possibilities are endless. But the other cool thing you can do is you can actually combine, you can make sort of like super combinations. So you can combine a weapon, and then combine another weapon, and then combine those together to make like ultra weapons. I didn't actually get a chance to do that in the demo, but they are there, so they're hard to find, and they're also sort of like rare blueprints. So throughout the game, yeah, going back to blueprints, they're basically what allow you to combine. So you can't normally go around and pick up two items and just combine them. You have to have the blueprint for it. But then there are some sort of special blueprints later for the super combiners, so obviously that way, once you've got them, you can get the really, really awesome items. Interestingly enough, one of the things that Josh said as well is that if you want to be clever with it, what you should do is, if you've got like an item, for example, and then because it's got kind of like a, not really a life bar, but kind of like a, a duration bar. So if you use it too much, your weapon breaks. what you should really do is use your weapon up until it's almost about to break and then combine it, because when you combine it, it refreshes the sort of the duration on the weapon, and that basically means you've got like a full life bar, so to speak, on it. So yeah, if you want to sort of hang on to your weapons a bit longer, then there's a developer tip right there for you. Then yeah, moving on, then we actually came across one of the kind of secret or sort of side bosses. These are bosses that you don't have to fight in the story mode, but they're optional, and they're actually really, really cool. This one is basically called, or all the bosses, they're called psychopaths, and there's 7 of them, and they're based on the 7 deadly sins. So the one you're seeing here is based on Wrath, and it's kind of like a sort of Chinese monk guy. He's got a guandao, I think that's how you say it. Apologies if my Chinese pronunciation is bad, but it's basically like a long staff with like a blade on the end. Yeah, and he represents Wrath. So he's the one that you can fight in this chapter. And yeah, like normally as you go along, sometimes you'll encounter them just randomly. Sometimes you'll encounter them sort of through progression. And you have to kind of like save people, and then they'll sort of crop up. But yeah, there's one for each of the different 7 deadly sins. And again, I was talking to Josh, the executive producer, and he was talking about, one of the hardest ones to design was actually when they had to design off a sloth, because obviously, as a sin, sloth is just laziness. How do you design a boss that's, lazy? And typically you just think, oh, like a, really, really big guy who's quite sort of slow or something. But the way they actually did it, they kind of designed him so that he's kind of based around sort of automation. He sort of stays in his house. He's quite lazy, so he's got a lot of gadgets and things that do things for him. But the idea is that instead of fighting him, you fight kind of his stuff that sort of helps him out. And yeah, it's based around sort of automation and stuff that would make his life easier. That's kind of how they portray Sloth. Obviously, I didn't get to see that in this demo, but it was just interesting talking about it, because obviously there are sort of 7 completely different sort of changes from it. So it'd be pretty cool to actually sort of see how they pan out. In fact, that's one of the things I'm looking forward to playing in the game. I just kind of want to see what the other ones are like. Yeah, and then obviously once you defeat it, you do obviously have the weapon they drop. So again, I defeated Wrath, so I managed to pick up his Grandal. And then it's just that's a really awesome weapon. It's pretty fast. It's the standard X attack is really good for sort of like dismembering zombies. So you can cut their arms and limbs off. And then if you use the Y attack, then it's really, really good for sort of clearing space. So you can just sort of get into the middle of a group of zombies and then just like clear them out completely. I did actually think it was a clever idea to combine this with something else and then turn it into a worse weapon, but still, that's neither here nor there. But yeah, I mean that's basically it. I mean I only had about sort of 20 minutes on the demo, so I ran around for a bit. Josh kind of walked me through the kind of story, the sort of campaign, things like that, and then explain how that goes, and then we did some combining, went and fought one of the bosses, and then afterwards it kind of leads you on to the next part of the chapter, which I unfortunately didn't have time to play. But from what I played, I really, really enjoyed it. And Dead Rising 3 was under my radar. It was one of those games that I was going to check it out, but I'd never really sort of been particularly interested in it. But after playing this, it really, really is good. It just feels good. The controls are great, and there's a lot of stuff to do. It's just like it's open world and zombies. I mean, what's there not to like? So yeah. I definitely recommend checking it out, and if it's one of those games that you're not quite sure about and you get an Xbox One, then just buy it. You're not going to regret it, and it will give you hours and hours of fun. I mean, when you've got an open world and anything to do, and you don't want to play the story, then just drive around and kill zombies, combine stuff, do what you want. But yeah, so that is about it. Unfortunately, I didn't have a chance to sort of capture anything else from the event, because primarily most of the things were kind of locked down, or it was quite busy, because it was only actually a short event. It was only there for a couple of hours. It started in the evening, closed sort of 2.5 hours later. So I got what I could. But primarily Dead Rising 3 was the main one that was sort of offered up there. So that's why I got this for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you do, then don't forget to hit that like button and show your support. It does really help me out. And obviously don't forget to subscribe for all the great content coming up soon. And obviously when Xbox One launches this month, then we're going to have a shed load of content for that. So stay tuned. But otherwise, don't forget to also stay tuned to the Arekkz Gaming Facebook and Twitter for all your updates throughout the week. But thanks for watching. Take it easy. Catch you next time. Peace out.